what's going on Facebook, what's going on YouTube, and all those other good joints. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Oh, y'all see this? The black on black MAGA hat. Woo-wee! Now, before we get into this, I want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Make sure my mic is not popping, cracking, snappling, and all of that mess. So if you can hear me, say what's happening. Let me know where you're checking in from. Hit that like button. Sorry I was a few minutes late. I was dealing with some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Technical difficulties. So I don't want to belabor the hour because tonight we're going to sew up the best of the worst of Joe Biden, man. And now, you know, throughout this night, as we cover some of his greatest hits, we're not going to be able to actually cover them all. There's too many. There's too many. One day after this bum is gone, we'll be able to make a montage that will last forever. One long reel of all of the stupidity, all of the horrible choices, all of his gaffes, you name it, we'll have it. But right now, since we're going into a new year, hopefully this will be the last year we'll have to deal with the stuff we're about to go through tonight. Hopefully. And I'm sure throughout the rest of this year, he's going to give us much more material. He's going to definitely make sure he goes out with a bang. So with that being said, like my video, share my video, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And also, if you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Let me know if they're unsubscribing you or you're not getting notifications and all of that good stuff. All right. Now let me get loose. Oh, and because I don't have my normal intro, I got to let you know up front, check out the corner store. Okay. My corner store, I got Kevin's Corner Store. You can buy some merch. You can get all kind of stuff there. So check that out. And then also 330-974-4607. I got it. If you text MAGA to that number, 330-9, dang it, did I just forget? 974-4607. There you go. Boy, I tell you, I got the Joe Bidenitis. I don't want that. So, yeah, if you text MAGA to that number, you will be in a text chain just in case something happened to me here on YouTube. All right, now, let's get it. Oh, okay. What? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Gorillas in here, gorilla in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here. Now, also, I forgot to mention, if you can and are able to support the channel through my monthly fundraiser I have to do to offset the censorship of YouTube and the suppression of my videos and stuff like that. If you can, you're welcome to do so. There's a link below this video. All you got to do is go ahead and click on that link and you can contribute to helping Kevin from Kevin's Corner provide rich, fine, uncut material, kicking the left in the butt. Now, let's go ahead and get it started. Before we get into all of the gaffes of this man, all of his worst hits, I want to touch on something real quick that is current in the news cycle, and that is, of course, Donald Trump and the 14th Amendment. Now, remember, guys, the whole premise is that Donald Trump launched an insurrection against our Constitution, our government, and our democracy, right? And one of the arguments that they're using is that Donald Trump didn't come out soon enough, y'all, soon enough to condemn the insurrectionists, to tell them to go home. He waited too long. But we done got hold to some recent footage that blows that whole narrative to hell. Now, I wonder if they're going to be showing this all on MSNBC, CNN, and all those places. But before we show that footage, let's see here how Joe Biden comes out and addresses this controversy about these states that's trying to get Donald Trump off the ballot. Look at what he does, y'all.
Is Trump an insurrectionist, sir?
Is Trump an insurrectionist?
It's self-evident. You saw it all. Now whether the 14th Amendment applies, or let the court make that decision.
These two truths are self-evident. You know the thing. You mean like that, Joe? So he said it's self-evident, you know, that he participated in an insurrection. Now, could it be that Joe Biden is weighing in on them trying to get Trump off the ballot. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing. That reporter probably was sitting there like, okay, Kareem, you told me to ask this question because that's the only thing I can respond to, because we of course coached him on this. It's the only question he's going to respond to and bounce.
But he certainly supported the insurrection. And no question about it.
No question.
None. Zero.
Zero.
And he seems to be doubling down on about everything. Anyway, I got to go do this.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I was told to say. And I can't answer any more questions after that. But I do want to put the nugget out there to the American people that I support removing Donald Trump from these ballots. Yeah, because, I support democracy. That's what it is. Now, remember, Joe Biden was talking about we're going to do anything we can within the Constitution to make sure he doesn't seize power again. Anything we can do. So now they're trying to see what's happening. They see the writing on the wall. But they said Trump, he was responsible for this insurrection. But look at this.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great...
Wait a minute, Trump, what are you doing? What are you doing? I thought you would get up there and say, charge. You guys are failing me. What are you doing? You're supposed to take the Capitol and hold it down. What's going on? I see people saying, yikes, Kev. Yeah, what's everything cool? Can y'all still hear it and see me? When people say things like that, I'll be going, wait, is the system cracking and messing up? But yeah, you would think Trump would have came out and said, charge. That's right. Fight to the death. No surrender. Take no prisoners. But he didn't do any of that. He said, I need y'all to go home now. Okay. Let's see.
People in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time.
Now, here's the crazy part about this, guys. He came out and he said that, but here's the problem. That wasn't fast enough for them. See, they can't deny that he said that. So now they got to figure out a way to make that still sound like he supported an insurrection. So the most laziest effort is going to be them simply saying, okay, fine. We got the video footage showing Trump said that, even though some of the social media platforms even blocked that when he came out and said it by saying that this might be inspiring people to continue with an insurrection or to become violent. Now, you would think they would have blasted that all over the place because they would want the people to calm down. But for some reason, they assume Trump going out and addressing these people, is going to inspire them to continue to press forward when he came out and said, go home. But nonetheless, they have to spin that because Trump came out and he did say, we need to go home now. We need to be peaceful. So the best that they could do is to say that he didn't immediately do it. He waited too long. And I'm sure because I'm in the mind of Trump, in the heart of Trump, and I know all the details and how long it took him to get from where he was over to where he could do a video and all that stuff. I'm sure in his heart he was like, take your time because I want to allow them to go ahead and get in there and take over. Yeah. So that's what their narrative is. And watch what this guy says.
I see you relying on the proof that Donald Trump engaged in insurrection is that he took no timely action to stop it. And that is an actual fact of the history that we know. What? That fact has been established by the January 6th committee and by other investigations of that day. And Donald Trump has never once suggested that he did anything at all during the time when he is accused of doing nothing to stop the insurrection.
Well. Maybe the J6 committee didn't see this footage. You know how they like to look at all the footage and stuff, and they say they went through it all thoroughly and all of that mess. You know how they say that. But somehow they miraculously miss some footage. Some footage that's just, surfaced. Now, remember just how they missed that footage of the Horns, who they was about to throw in jail forever. And they claimed that he was a shaman. And then when the footage came out, it showed that he was being escorted around the Capitol by police. They were checking doors for him, allowing him to pray with them. Hanging out with him. And then telling everybody, hey, let's not mess this place up. Let's be respectful. We thank you, officers, for the service. And that footage destroyed their narrative so bad that they had to release this dude. They had to release him. Now, you know, they saw that footage. You know it. But they overlooked it. They omitted that footage because they wanted this guy to be the face. But they sure enough didn't put the footage of Bigfoot up there. For some reason, you would have thought Bigfoot would have been the face of the insurrection. But they wanted the Shaw man. See, they wanted somebody who looked crazy, you know, with the horns and stuff to say, this is how all these Trump supporters look and act right there. Look at him. His face is painted. He got buffalo horns on his ears. Versus the guy going, tomorrow, we got a I said, I might go to jail, but I said, that guy. They didn't want that guy. Overlooked that footage that was all over the internet. And they also overlooked this footage. So the same guy that they claimed was the leader of the insurrection with the horns, and we found out he was escorted, is the same guy in this video who immediately got the text from Donald Trump saying this. Wait a minute. First of all, why is that black guy coming out of there? Why is there two black guys right there? I thought those black guys would be all white nationalists. See, but nonetheless, here we go. He's saying Donald Trump said what? We're going to obey our president. This is before the breach. Before the breach. This was before the shaman went in. Okay. Before the doors opened and he just walked in. Because remember, guys, remember, this guy, they said, broke through the window. Probably ran through with the buffalo horns. You know, bust down the door, snorting, ringing his nose, doing this with his feet. Before he charged those police officers and start running them over. That's pretty much what happened, right? But we found out later the doors were open. The shaman walked in peacefully with everybody else after the doors were open. How did those doors open? That's my question. I know one thing. I remember seeing some footage with some dudes inside of the Capitol walking up to that door, that magnetic door, looking around at some camera somewhere and pointing to the door like it's locked. Yeah, no, I tried it. It's locked. You got it? Okay, I'm going to go back over and do it then, okay? Somebody on the inside unlocked that door. Then all these people come in. But before they came in, listen to what he said Donald Trump said.
He said he saw on his Twitter account, We're going to pull up the tweet. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home.
Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. Look how early in the insurrection that these people got that message. But Donald Trump waited too long. Yeah, he took his time. There's no evidence that he tried to stop it. What else he say?
Okay, then stay. I don't give a shit. This is America. You guys want to stay? That's fine. Donald Trump has asked.
He said, you guys want to stay? That's fine. But Donald Trump has asked us, what? Everybody to go home. Hold on. Read this. Read it, shaman.
Read it. Donald Trump is it. Donald Trump, quote, I am asking for everyone in the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect our law enforcement, men and women in blue.
How do you like that? There's that same shaman that they tried to make seem like he was the leader of the insurrection, trying to tell everybody to go home based on what? Based on Donald Trump sending that message way early, before they entered that Capitol, before they breached those doors that mysteriously just opened up. Now, where was that footage? I mean, we just heard the Sutherland or whoever that guy was on MSNBC talking about you're basing the fact that Donald Trump committed an insurrection due to the fact that he did not respond quick enough to tell the people to stop. That's a fact. I mean, the J6 committee confirmed it and all that stuff. Well, why didn't they see that footage? That's my question. So early in the game, Donald Trump said, go home. But they're still trying to make it appear that Donald Trump just smoked a cigarette, went to Denny's, sitting up there smoking while he's eating his eggs and bacon, what? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get around to addressing the people. First, I gotta run the Rite Aid, pick up my medicine. Then, you know what? I was thinking about getting a pedicure, and I gotta get my hair done. Then afterwards, I'll send out a message. He did this immediately, but for some reason, they're still trying to say this man inspired and was responsible for the insurrection. Now, here's a insurrection. Now, here's the flip side to that coin. If you are a rational, reasonable person, you'll know this is absolutely crazy. They're contorting this whole story and they are protecting the narrative. That's why they don't want the video footage coming out. That's why they won't show clips like this, because this stuff combats their whole narrative. Because without the narrative that Donald Trump took too long, Donald Trump said things that inspired them, all of these things, then how are they going to ride in on this 14th Amendment thing? So let me understand. The man responsible for inspiring an insurrection, first of all, offered 10 to 20,000 troops to be there and to make sure nothing went down. Now, off grip, that should blow up their whole narrative. I don't even know why we debate this stuff. I mean, all you got to do is say, what sense would that make? Why would he offer troops to prevent any possibility of violence if he was hoping for an insurrection? So he did that, and certain people turned it down. The next question you should be thinking, why did those certain people turn that down? It would be much harder to have people inspire folks that push them up, go in. It would be much harder to have people unlocking doors and folks going in if we had those troops there. See, it would be much harder to do that. So Nancy Pelosi and Bowser rejects that. Then the second thing you have to consider is Trump came out and addressed it and said, go home. They have to overcome that obstacle. So, oh crap, he did say that. All right, let's just say he took too long. But this footage destroys that. This footage should be on every network. The Trump administration should be finding clips like this and bringing it home, painting this very different story to what they're trying to say. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, man, get in touch with Trump and them and say, hey, this guy, Kevin from Kevin's Corner, can help you. He could help you. He could put together stuff that would make it very clear that you did not inspire an insurrection and blast that mess out there. That's what you need to do. When they come out there and they say stupid stuff like this, you say, okay, does this make sense? This happened. They turned that down. Then they said Trump did not respond quick enough. Look at this footage. There you go. Make them explain this stuff. See, instead, what are they doing? They're going all around all of that stuff, and they're still pushing their narratives, and it's uncontested. And then you get Poodle up top. You get this jackass right here. He done grew the poodle back. Now he's on CNN about to say that most asinine thing right here ever. So let's check in with Poodle up top, Jerry, whatever his name is.
How quickly do you think that the Supreme Court will weigh in on this, if they will at all?
Rat
Assuming
skin.
they will, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, under constitutional federalism, every state is ultimately going to control its own ballot access and access to candidates.
Y'all see that poodle coming back? Y'all see that poodle coming back? Yeah, with a comb over. He done combed the poodle over right about now. He's waiting for it to come back in full effect. So now he's going to make something up, pull some crap out of his butt.
For the ballot. And that is obviously difficult when we're talking about electing the president, who is the one official we've got in America who is supposed to represent the entire country, represent everybody. And so I think that the urgency is for the Supreme Court to act. But I think it's going to be tough for some of them if they want to keep Trump on the ballot, if they're falling for the argument that this is undemocratic. I mean, is it
falling for the argument? The Supreme Court justice, yeah, it's going to be tough for them to keep Trump on a ballot if they're falling for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rat Skin is smarter than them guys. I'm pretty sure Rat Skin right here got all the evidence and all of those brilliant Supreme Court justices, with the exception of John Jackson. Yeah. Now, in this case, all what is it, 12 of them? Wait, yeah, 12, 9, all 9 of them should be on one accord. You should not have not one of them to say, well, actually, I do look at the 14th Amendment like this, and I think Trump did commit an insurrection. They would be just destroying their credibility. I mean, as liberal as they could be, they would look stupid in front of their peers if they decided to come out and say, well, yeah, I side with the states. It would be obvious then that you are a Supreme Court activist. So all of them should be anonymous. But this guy said they would be foolish if they fall for this. So basically, I'm trying to pretend that I support the Supreme Court. And I recognize it's going to go there. But hey, look, they would be crazy if they overlooked all this evidence. It's going to be hard for them. So let's see.
Undemocratic that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jennifer Granholm can't run for president because they weren't born in the country. If you think about it, of all the forms of disqualification we have, the one that disqualifies people for engaging in insurrection is the most democratic because it's the one where people choose.
Is the most democratic. Now, y'all ready? So let me understand. The accusation of Trump, committing an insurrection, not the evidence, not the proof, not the conviction, none of that stuff. But he's just saying the one of someone committing or acting in an insurrection is actually more democratic. When we can come out and just label that person as an insurrectionist, not really they did anything, not really participated in the insurrection. It's democratic when we can label a person as an insurrectionist without any evidence or a trial or a conviction. That's democratic. It's democratic. And then watch this spin. It's democratic because they chose to remove themselves from the ballot by participating in an insurrection that we accused them of doing.
Choose themselves to be disqualified in terms of your age or where you were born. That's not up to you. But Donald Trump is in that tiny number of people who've.
Did y'all hate that tiny number of people that y'all bend and contort and twist and pervert all of the rules? Y'all would destroy the Constitution to get this dude. Y'all would destroy the Bill of Rights, the rule of law, all of our norms. Y'all would destroy democracy, our republic, the country, just to stop Trump. He's in that tiny minority. Because even though he might be a small person right here, he's big because of his ideas and his policies and the people that follow him. So Trump right now is a pain in their butt. And this guy's trying to make us think that, hey, we're not trying to get Trump off the ballot. Trump tried to get himself off the ballot. There you go. By participating in the insurrection. So now, you know how the left does it. They will put labels on us that we never put on ourselves. They're far right. They're extremists. I'm like, I didn't know that. I had no idea. You know what? They're white nationalists. They'll just put a label on anybody. Trump say a traitor. Trump's Hitler. He's Mussolini, and he's an insurrectionist because we say he is. And based on us labeling him as that, it's obvious that he's disqualified himself based on a label we put on him, not his actions. I just destroyed their whole narrative a few seconds ago when I pointed out the obvious. How would he be an insurrectionist by providing troops to stop an insurrection and then proof that he tried to tell the people way before this mess got started to go home? But yet this guy's out here saying Trump is an insurrectionist. So that means I should go on there to debate with the poodle right there and bring that video footage that I just showed you guys and make the poodle explain that. This is the same dude who, when they were asking questions about Ray Epps, would say, man, leave that poor guy alone. I mean, you guys are trying to just attack this one guy. He didn't do anything. Unbelievable. They are so bootleg, it's ridiculous, man. But let's continue.
Essentially disqualified themselves.
He just disqualified himself. It's as simple as that. That man got up there and said that, and he's hoping that people go, I guess that makes sense. Hey, if he did it, I guess he did disqualify himself. So all of these raggedy, people in these liberal states that are trying to get him off, I guess they're justified. So now, let's get into leading up to Biden. The best at being the worst POTUS ever. The best of the worst of Biden. So let's start off with Biden and I guess him addressing his New Year's stuff and how he's going to move forward in the New Year's and stuff like that. So here we go.
New Year's Eve message from President Joe Biden and Dr. Jill Biden.
As we enter the new year, I'm more optimistic about America's future than I've ever been.
Really?
You know, at our best, we've taken every crisis we faced and turned it into an opportunity.
For you guys, for the corrupt, stinking globalists, every crisis we face, we made it worse. By saying it's best. It's the best. We're doing the best. It's a good thing. So let me get this straight. The immigration crisis that y'all created only benefits you guys. All the rules y'all changed to allow these people come up in this bad boy. All the money you dedicated towards them. There you go. Yeah. The crisis in Ukraine that y'all could have avoided by simply agreeing that y'all won't have Ukraine join NATO. Y'all created. Just simple crisis like that. How about the crashing of our economy because y'all wanted to keep us locked down for almost an extra year and some change? How about all of our kids being hurt academically because y'all wanted to keep them out of school? What about that? All of these crises that we faced, y'all created. The overreaction to you know what, the forcing of you know what, all of that they created. So he's talking about a crisis. The economy crashing that y'all created. The supply chain getting jammed up that y'all created because y'all wanted to use these crises to acquire more power. There it is. Hey, we want to see how far we can go with lockdowns and control and obedience from the people. Force them to put masks on for some reason. No, I can't put mine on. Mine keeps sliding off my face, but everybody else must wear one. There you go. Let's see how much control we can take over with these manufactured, self-inflicted crises. The crisis in Afghanistan that y'all created. All of those. So let's continue.
2023. What is the message you both have for everybody watching tonight?
Optimism. I've never been more optimistic about America in my whole career. You know, my dad used to have an expression. He'd say, family's the beginning, the middle, and the end.
As you look back and reflect on 2023, what sort of memories, highlights stand out for you?
Well, I happen to have a few highlights that stood out to me, boys and girls. So let's see what he thinks stood out. Then we're going to go back through what stood out to all of us.
The big highlight stands out for me is my dad used to have an expression. He'd say, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck.
That's it. That's I mean, how many times we got to hear that? The big highlight that stands out to me is my dad used to say to me, Joey, you know what? It's more than just a paycheck. How many times we heard that garbage?
Dignity. It's about respect. So many people through the Midwest and in the center of the country, their factories are shipped overseas the last couple of times out. And they're losing hope and faith. So we brought a lot of jobs back to the United States. People are in a position to be able to make a living now.
Started the first hour with our New Year's resolutions from our audience, but now we've got one from Joe Biden.
From Creepy?
He says his New Year's resolution is, well, let's see.
What's your New Year's resolution? To come back next year.
That's the biggest one right now.
There you go. Joe, right now, my New Year's resolution is to keep breathing and acquire more chocolate chip and sniff a lot of hair, caress a couple kids, and continue destroying the whole country. There you go. Any more questions that I can't answer?
You say to come back?
Come back next year. And you know, we don't know if he means back to St. Croix for New Year. Or
Back
maybe
to life?
Back to life.
Back to the White House.
Back to consciousness.
It's an odd thing
Back
to
to
say.
the White House. Yeah, it could be back to that restaurant.
We don't know.
Fancy restaurant you said. It could be anything.
Back to his nap. Oh, nobody knows. And that's the point.
Back to his nap. Yeah, see, but what they should have been doing is highlighting this. What's that? We got us a choir out there? What, Joe Biden? Why do you say these hurtful things?
But I do. I know most of the people.
But let's check in and see what's happening for the first of the year over at Mar-a-Lago. Now, we saw Joe, his celebration, as he shuffled out of that restaurant. Little bag of bones and Jill. And the people praised him with F. Joe Biden. Da, 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 da. F. Joe Biden. Da, 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 da. F. Joe. Yeah, they was jamming. But let's see how things are going on over there at Mar-a-Lago.
People in this room, and you're fantastic people, and we're going to have a fantastic year. We're going to have a great year. Our country has gone to hell, and we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around pretty quickly.
It looks like a celebration, a party. Oh, what? Wait a minute. Don't tell me they up in there rapping, and they had one of the Ninja Turtles up on the, man, I don't know. I wanted to be invited. I like the Ninja Turtles. So they was up in there kicking it. Boy, I tell you. And that right there is the tale of two different stories, man. You look at how Joe and his events and stuff go. Then you look at Trump's rallies are great. I mean, before he even gets on stage, they be in there with the music and they're jamming. Man, last time I went, they was playing James Brown. I mean, everybody in the crowd was out there jamming to James Brown. They had some Bob Marley. It was great. And so there we go back to Joe, F. Joe Biden. So here's Joe saying, we're making jobs and people are optimistic and things are getting better and we're taking advantage of crisis and all of that stuff.
The Democratic end of things, Joe Biden seems poised to be the Democratic nominee. What kind of year has he had politically? Well, again, he started 2023 coming off those good midterms for Democrats, and his approval rating, 46-50, wasn't that bad, but he's taken a hit this year. And as we start to close out the year, our final NBC poll had him at just 40% approval, 57% disapproval. How does this compare to past presidents entering their re-election year? Here you can see it. Here's the 40 that we have Biden at right now. These are all the final polls heading into the election year, re-election year that NBC conducted. You just see all the recent presidents. Look, Trump got beat in 2020. He was at 44 heading into his re-election year. Yeah. Bush Sr. got beat in 92. He was at 52 and heading south rapidly there. But you see how that number compares. That's the lowest. That's the lowest in an NBC.
The lowest. How low can he go? Can he go down low? Yeah. Can he go to the floor? Can he go a little more? I want that dude beneath the floor. That's what I want. Go to the floor, prostrate straight on the floor, and then go through the floor. That's how low I want him to be. So, yeah, he's at 40% if the polls are true, because it might be like 4%, honestly. But hey, let's continue.
Incumbent facing a re-election year, but it is a tight race when you poll Biden versus Trump at this point here in the average of the polls nationally. Biden at a 2-point advantage. Now, at the end of the year, it is Trump who, on average, has a 2-point advantage here. A very, very close race, obviously. And what are the concerns of voters? The dynamics we'll be talking about if this race does materialize. Okay. Joe Biden, of course, is the oldest president ever at this point. And his his fitness, his age, about 3 in 4 voters in our poll say it's a major or moderate concern.
Now, we're going to find out if their concerns are legit as we go into the best of the worst of Joe Biden, because they're concerned about his fitness, his age. They're probably over-exaggerating, making it up. I'm sure these are right-wing conspiracies that Joe Biden is over the hill and he's declining mentally. Okay, so let's see if what they're saying here, according to these polls, is a legitimate concern for people.
Big thing in 24 is going to be Trump's legal situation. Are there convictions? No, what goes on in the courtroom for him? 62% right now say that's a major or moderate concern for them. Would that number change if there's a conviction? Would that number change based?
Yeah, it would change. It'll go up. It would go up. If there was some bootleg convention, it would go up. So just like all the other stupid charges and efforts to stop Trump has only made him more popular and made his poll numbers go up. So a whack conviction of Trump would infuriate everybody, and they would probably vote him in while he's in jail. But let's continue hearing this man cope while also pointing a negative picture for Joe Biden.
on how these cases start to sort out. Big question, obviously, will be following well into 2024. And this is interesting, too. Just there is clearly what this ballot question is showing you here is matching Trump against just a generic Democrat. Trump loses sizably. Matching Biden against a generic Republican. Biden loses by double digits. It's just showing you broadly there's not a big appetite for Trump versus Biden, even though it seems that each party, at least as we enter 2024, is...
I don't know what poll they're looking at. I don't know any other Democrat, including Joe, that Trump's base would say, well, I would take that Democrat over President Trump. I mean, you could throw Gavin Newsom out there. You can throw Joe Manchin out there, whoever. Sling out any Democrat. And the base would stay loyal to Trump. So here he is. There's not a big appetite. No, there's not a big appetite for Biden again to be the president. It's an appetite for Trump to be the president.
Poised to go in that direction, and that leads to this final graphic here. A poll from Wall Street Journal recently. They included a bunch of third-party options, and against Biden and Trump, they added up to 17%. That's a big question heading into 2024. Is there going to be a real third-party candidate to create a wild card in this?
No. So, guys, here we go. Recap.
So I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home. More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half the women in my administration are women.
Woo-wee! Starting off with the pander party, man. Oh, he's a panderer. Oh, I'm a panderer. So y'all see that man talking about? He then was raised with the Puerto Ricans, eating rice and beans, kicking it. Come on, Papi. Come on, Joe Biden. You want to dance, Joe? Oh, yeah, I want to dance. First, I want to sniff. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Now let's dance. So here we go. Joe said he was raised by Puerto Ricans in the neighborhood. And then, of course, he got all these women in his cabinet.
We have 1,000 billionaires in America. Yeah. You know the average tax rate they pay?
What?
8%.
Classic. That's right. That one right there goes into the archives. That man right there. G-H. There it is. Percent. Yeah. Left a couple letters out. That's okay, though. That's okay, because he speaks Joe Biden.
8%. I hibernated in a while. Iowa for a while, but
what the heck was that? He was just growling. I mean, what was that? What was that? That man was growling on the mic. Unbelievable. I thought he was possessed. I was like, loose, come out. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. That man, loose. I rebuke you, Satan.
Digress for just a second. Last night I was on television. I was on.
How did he get in there? Last night I was in the television. Joe probably watches clips of himself and be like, how'd I get in there? Wait a minute. Hey, Joey, how did you get in there? Hey, somebody go get me out of that television. I'm not supposed to be in there because I'm right here. This dude.
The telephone. She was forced to have to travel out of the state to Indiana to seek to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life.
There you go. She had to go to terminate the presidency and maybe save her life. Well, if that's true, then I can understand it. To go and terminate the presidency could save your life. Yeah. If we could stop this dude, we might save a whole bunch of lives. But that's what you get when you trying to push these narratives and protect your precious abortion. So there you go. These are classics right here. Let's continue, man. The best of the worst of Joe Biden.
That's last part is my judgment. So the best way to get something done
is what, Joe?
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to
do what?
The price goes up exponentially.
Oh, dang on it, I was left hanging. Again. Joe be leaving some cliffhangers, y'all. Boy, only Joe can do this. Nobody can do it like Joe. Whatever. I'm taking up too much time in my mind. That's the problem. Taking up too much time in my mind. Yeah, I only got so many thoughts and so many words, so I got to keep it to a minimum. So he just left us hanging right there. That means he never had an idea in the first place. You know, there was no actual inspiring statement that was coming after that. Yeah, he's just making up. And then he tries to pull the parachute and act like, hey, you know what? So here's some more of the best of the worst of Joe Biden.
Like for cars, they have an exponentially greater chance of going all the way through 12 years of school.
Is that a proper word?
It increases exponentially their prospect of graduating. It also increases exponentially. They increase exponentially. They're changing exponentially. They increase exponentially.
Not only does he recycle the same words, but that right there is not the proper term. But it doesn't matter. He recycled the heck out of that mug. Recycling Joe. Yeah, I'm good. Fighting for climate change. I'm doing my part with recycling. What? No, not bottles, words. So here we go.
Increased exponentially. Increasing exponentially. Prices went up exponentially. It's increasing exponentially.
Yeah, so here's President Biden. Right?
Now this was a classic, y'all. This right here is going to go down. I don't know what's going on with Joe. This is the mysterious zombie look. The deer in headlights look. The impression of the deer in the headlights. Let's check it out.
I'm going to ask you about.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy.
That man is scaring me. First of all, the voice, it can't be, how do you go from, you know what, you can't be, with those crazy eyes wide open. Well, man, he got those cocaine eyes, y'all. Cocaine on the brain. Could it be they gave him a full-blown adrenaline shot? All right, he's crashing. Let's get the adrenaline. No, get the horse one. The horse one. The regular adrenaline shots aren't good enough for Joe. Get the horse shot. Flip. You can't be pro-immigrant. And rocking back inside, side to side. Let's see how long he keeps those eyes open before he blinks.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
So what did you think of this one? He didn't blink. Not at all, right? So that suggests it's fake. This one's actually real. How's that? This was actually a speech he gave.
Okay, look at that. 7 seconds, 10 seconds. No blinking yet. 18, 20. Man, this is going to be some kind of a record. It's going to be some kind of a record. Where's he at? 40 seconds. He's going to do it. Can he do it? Can he do it?
All these.
There you go. That man broke a record. I invite you all to try that in your leisure time. Just sit there and keep your eyes open for 1 minute straight. Will you be crying and everything? Bloodshot red. That man for 1 minute straight. That was normal, right? Any other time, he can't keep his eyes open. Any other time, he nodding off, can barely move, and for 1 minute straight didn't blink. So either they taped his eyelids open, or they injected him with some horse adrenaline or something like that.
Steps will reduce crime and prevent crime from happening in the first place. And let's say one thing to rest. I may be a practicing Catholic. I used to go to 7:30 Mass.
Here comes some pandering. It's about to go wrong, baby. He's going to get exposed. Because remember, he was raised by the Puerto Ricans. Out there talking about some Juan Banamera. Yeah. Then don't forget, he was raised by the Jews. He was raised by everybody. And then he grew up in a black church. I'm sure all of his soul is about to kick back in. Because he's amongst his peeps right here.
Every morning in high school and then in college, before I went to the black church. Not a joke.
Not a joke. There you go, Joe. Show him. Show him. Come on, Joe. Big claps. Come on, Joe. Joe, where you at? Joe. Uh-oh. Come on, Joe. Oh, that look right there tells it all. Man, that's great. I'm gonna tell you, you know what that remind me of? One time, when I lived in Cincinnati, I went to a Pentecostal apostolic church. where if you don't know nothing about that, it's Holy Ghost filled, rolling on the floor, shouting, running around with nobody chasing you. Shaking and quaking, laying hands on folks, speaking in tongues, having a great time, music loud, everything loud. We love it loud, love it loud. And the whitest white man in the world somehow ended up in our church visiting. And I'm sitting there like, uh-oh, he's in for a surprise. Man, folks start shouting and dancing. They didn't care. They were sitting right next to him. One chick had her back on him. He was up there. Oh, okay. All right. I'm scared. All these people are scaring me. And I couldn't even get into the worship because I'm sitting there looking at that man's face going, he's about to jump over these pews and sprint out of here at any second. It was hilarious to see him, man. But anyway, somebody said I'm buffering. Refresh that. So Joe looks like that. He is the whitest white man in the world, up in there white in that mug. Can't you see him working on the inside? I can feel him moving on the... All of that. Joe's like, what do I do? Should I run? You know, I can't do that. So let's continue. This is going down in history. I'm so scared. But wait a minute, he was amongst his peoples, because remember, he went to the black church when he was younger, before he would go to college or something like that. You know, Joe makes that up. And then there was this, one of the worst things ever that came out of this bum. Yeah, remember that? Look at that. Oh, those white nationalists on those horses. Whipping those Haitians. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wait, it looks like he's grabbing them with his hands. Not with a whip. But yeah. So my first thought is, why are those Haitians in our country? See, that's my question. Why are they in our country? Because that normally would happen if you cross somebody's border illegally. In fact, I would go so far as to say this. Instead of grabbing you, they probably would shoot you. See, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, if I just took a sprint across the Chinese border, just for farts and giggles, just to see how far I can get as a prank or something, and I was running, you think they're going to waste time chasing me on horses? You think they're going to chase me on foot? They would probably ride up on the side of me with some type of vehicle and just shoot me. There you go. Might not even use the gas. Might just shoot me from a distance. So here these men are grabbing these people. And then, of course, Joe Biden.
It was horrible what you see. To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped. It's outrageous. I promise you, those people will pay.
And this is why he's a dirtbag. These are the clips of the worst of Joe Biden. Some are gaffes, and some of him being a jackass. And this is a jackass gaffe right here. This fool right here knew that those men did not strap those Haitians. He knew it. Because even the photographer said, man, I didn't see that. But instead, because the border was so horrible, they would rather, Democrats, dang on, what's her name? If you see anybody, Mad Max, she came out, did a press conference. I mean, I was looking at what was going on down there when those Border Patrol agents was whipping those Haitians, and it was worse than slavery. Worse than slavery. Now, these are the men that you put in charge to stop these people from coming, but you don't really want them to stop them from coming. So because the attention was on how many people kept coming across that border, they wanted to change the narrative by throwing their own Border Patrol agents under the bus. Basically saying these folks are slave owners whipping black people. I mean, how dirty and funky and nasty can you get, especially knowing that you knew it was not true? How do you think the men felt? To look at the country and the leader and the executive branch that you work under, and that is what they do to you. Straight throw you under the bus so they can create a racist narrative that will make people not look at the fact that all these people are coming across this border and how bad that border is. No, we can't do that. And guess what else it did? It sends a message to all the rest of the Border Patrol agents. We don't really want you to stop these people. You might mess, just like the cops. Yeah, don't mess with black folks and people of color. Don't mess with looters and rioters, because if you put your hands on one of them, that we actually want them to do this. We're encouraging them to do this now. We can't have y'all really stopping them. So the people who actually try to do their job, we will make an example out of you and say, this is what happened to the rest of y'all. If y'all think y'all gonna be going around chasing these looters, actually locking up Black Lives Matter, actually locking up Antifa, our brown shirts, the people we sent out to wreak havoc, intimidate, and all of that stuff in these neighborhoods and stuff when we want to go ahead and destabilize, the system. Yeah. So don't touch them, or you might find yourself being brought up on some charges. And yet these men were demonized by this bum. So now when we see the rest of the montage where Joe seemed like he don't know what's going on up here, that's why I can laugh at him. See, right now, he sounds like he's in his right mind. Look what he's using that right mind energy to do.
They will be an investigation underway now, and there will be consequences. There will be consequences.
So whatever happened with those consequences, Joe? Or did you find out eventually that wasn't true, that you knew up front, but you need to buy yourself some time to make the people think, well, I mean, the border does look bad, but boy, whipping Haitians look even worse. So now that it came out after the investigation that those Haitians wasn't whipped, did Joe ever come out and use a little bit of his right mind energy to apologize? Nope.
It's an embarrassment, but it's beyond an embarrassment.
No, you're an embarrassment.
It's dangerous. It's wrong.
No, it's dangerous and wrong when the commander-in-chief stows his troops, the people that are putting their life at risk, under the bus with a false narrative. Just straight lie. And you wonder why we have hard time recruiting police, hard time recruiting border patrol agents, hard time recruiting military folks. Because when you see a leader like this that's willing to do that to his own people, man, he's dirt. I'm telling you, he is one big fat dirt bag. Honestly, I can't stand Joe Biden. I can't stand him. I have no reservation when I cut on Joe. I mean, he's funny, but hey, I don't even pump the brakes. I don't even know, that might be a little insensitive. Nope. Because look what this guy's capable of.
It sends the wrong message around the world. It sends the wrong message at home. It's simply not who we are. All I'm asking is pay your fair share.
Yeah, here's another dirtbag moment.
Pay your fair share.
Unlike me.
Pay your fair share.
Unlike my son. Pay your fair share. Why we have all of these fake corporations where we're hiding all of this money. Pay your fair share. Except you, Hunter. Just make sure you pay your fair share, which is 10% to the big guy. Now, let's get back to the rest of the peasants. Pay your fair share. Classic. Yep. Oh, here's another classic, y'all. Oh, look at him coming out with his aviators. He's strutting like John Travolta. I can tell by the way you are, man. No time at all. Coming down that stretch and gets hit with a random question, and something came out of his mouth. There you go. That one right there goes down in the history books too, man. My butt's been white. Now, of course, they tried to fact check that. We don't know what he said, but we don't think he said it. Well, if you don't know what he said, how about we just go ahead and land on my butt's been white. That's what I heard. Fact checkers. So, hey, it's all perspective. I love that one. That's a classic right there. I mean, he said it with confidence and out of nowhere. Nobody prompted that. I guess he just felt we needed to know his butt's been white.
Pay your fair share.
There we go.
Pay your fair share.
Just thought I'd let y'all know. Somebody said keeps buffering from you, Deb. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. I'm looking over here at my other screen. It looks like it's running pretty good over there. So just try to refresh your page if you can. I'm sorry about that. Now, y'all hear that? My man he said, I think the American people need to know my butt's been white. Or either that question she was asking, yeah, man, I can't answer that But what I can tell you is my butt's been white. There you go. My butt's been white. So let's see what he's talking about here. Okay.
Off with 2 words.
2 words.
Made in America.
Classic.
Made in America.
There you go, Joe.
Made in America.
Say it again.
That's not hyperbole, huh?
No, it's stupidity. It's not hyperbole. It's stupidity. 2 words. Made in America. But you know what's stupider than that, Joe? See, you had some folks right there that accompanied with you in regards to the best of the worst of Joe Biden. Yeah, your audience is the worst, the best of the worst of audiences. That, as you said, 2 words, made in America, and they all continued like seals. I'll say it again, made in America. She doubled down on it. You heard what he said, made in America, 2 words. So all of you guys get the big butt of the jokes that night. The people who clapped, if I was in that audience, I would have been the only person sitting there going, wait, made in America. Why are you all clapping? Why are you all clapping? Didn't you hear what he said? He said 2 words. That was 3. I will be the only guy. Let's see what else.
I'm not joking about that, as you know. Think about what you think about.
One of my classics.
2 words.
Yeah, man. Y'all hear that? That was profound. He went philosophical on us, y'all, on that one. I will be using that until the end of time. Until the end of time, I'll be thinking what I think about. Yeah. Joe has no brains inside. That man right there said, think about what you think about at the time. Classic. Butte. It's a butte. Let's see what else.
Made in America.
Made in America.
A place called Claymont, Delaware.
There we go.
Which has more oil refineries than Houston, Texas had in its region, just across the line in Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
And all the prevailing winds are our way. And guess what?
Guess
the
what?
first frost, you know what was happening?
What?
It had to put on their windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window.
Here we go, y'all. Joe's lies, them Biden lies. Y'all ready for those Biden lies? I'm ready for the Biden lies. So now Joe's talking about oil all over his windshield, and you had to literally put on your windshield wipers to keep the oil off. So then what did that contribute to, Joe, as you make up another story?
I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
What? You got cancer, Joe? Did he just say, so many other people I grew up with, we have cancer? But yet, when they questioned that, the fact checkers got mad. People came out and tried to run interference. I mean, come on. Yeah, you know, Joe. I mean, you know he had cancer back in the day. You know that. Don't act like you're shocked that he said he had cancer. Well, he didn't say he had cancer. He said, I have cancer. But they didn't want us to see. Now, when the commander-in-chief, his brain is broke like that, and he comes out and he says that, you got to be concerned. Because remember, you got all of those people out there doing that poll. They're saying one of the biggest concerns is Joe's mentality. But that man told us he had cancer. Oh, here comes another classic, y'all. A pandering moment gone wrong.
Spend King holiday with the National Action Network and with the King family, Martin and family.
Yes.
And understand, Martin III, we celebrate a legacy of your beloved father and mother. But congratulations today, the honorees.
Now, you know Joe don't know names. You know Joe is the butcher of names. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? There it is. Yes, the butcher of names is back. Y'all ready for Joe to get out that machete? Oh, yeah. He pulled out the Crocodile Dundee knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. He's about to hack up a name, y'all, in the midst of pandering.
Including your wife, who I understand is birthday today. When somebody's birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready?
Hit it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen, dear Valen, dear Valen, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
There we go.
America's.
That's how you do it, Joe. That's how you hack up a name. Slice that mug up. Oh, yes, classic Joe. I know when he decided to sing that bad boy, I know his people was like, Joe, don't do that. You don't even know the lady's name. You don't even know her. So he just went ahead and they tried to go low with it. Yeah,
Hey, to you. Happy birthday.
and then, not to mention, Joe can't hold a tune whatsoever. Happy birthday to you. Only birthday song I ever heard that made me want to fall asleep in the middle of it. I'm sitting there like, I can barely keep my eyes open. You hear his tone. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, dear Valen.
Dear Valen. Dear Valen. Yeah.
Dear
That's
Valen.
it. That's it.
Happy birthday to
Continue
you.
to make a jackass of yourself. Classic. Dear Valen. All right, let's continue.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Here's another one.
I was gonna foot him. I was gonna foot him.
I can never get tired of this one.
Excuse me. I was gonna foot him. Excuse me. The foothills of the Himalayas.
A classic. And the first thing that stood out with that one is that he never even told us what America could be defined as. He went to the Himalayas. How did we end up in the Himalayas? Because he's a player from the Himalaya. He went Jerome in the house on us. That's right, I'm a player from the Himalaya. So, what can America be summed up as? The Himalayas? How do we get to the Himalayas? You left us hanging again.
I was gonna foot him. Excuse me. I was gonna foot him.
And he hurting too.
Excuse me. The foothills of
He
the
is hurting.
Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. Unless we traveled 17,000 miles on his vice.
So now he sold us out for a lie, made up story about him and Xi Jinping flying over the Himalayas. We up here waiting to hear what America be defined as. I'm like, okay, fine. We're going to get some patriotism out of Joe. He's going to go ahead and tell us what we're defined as. Wait a minute. We're in the Himalayas with Xi. I mean, you just changed the channel. I was watching a movie and all of a sudden the whole scene changed. So now he's in the Himalayas with Xi as he lies about it.
I don't know that for a fact. I was gonna foot him. Excuse me.
As a foot I've had.
You are the oldest president ever.
And the worst, too. And the worst.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me.
Oh, we've been watching you, Joe, throughout the night. We have been watching you, man. I always feel like. So Joe, right there, said, watch me. Let's continue watching him be the worst president ever.
I mean, honest to God, that's all I think. Watch me.
45 seconds later.
Uh-oh.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused.
What? Which
I
focus?
think it's. I haven't. Look.
Watch me.
This year.
That's about as bad as when they asked him before he ran. I'm perfectly okay with America looking at my menopause benefits. Couldn't even get that out after saying that, hey, yo, man, Trump out here saying I ain't mentally prepared, man. I'm messed up in my mind. But you talking reckless, Trump, man. Hey, look, if you want to look at my mental fitness, my mentity. If you want to look into my brain, then you'll see that I'm prepared and equipped. Yeah, like this.
The 4th of July is a day of special celebration. While the virus hasn't been vanquished, we know this.
What?
It no longer controls our lives.
It doesn't?
I emphasize that the vaccines provide very strong protection.
So now he's a manipulator and a liar. Y'all remember him trying to go ahead and take credit for destroying that virus? I'm not going to shut down the economy. I'm going to shut down the virus that's still running rampant. But nonetheless, he went out there and trying to say, look at me, I'm doing stuff on COVID. I done went ahead and we done got y'all injections. And guess what? There's a limited chance at this point, if you got that vaccine, that you can catch the disease. See what I did? Solved the problem, right? And then shortly after, all of a sudden, we got a bigger problem.
From severe illness from COVID-19, that if you're fully vaccinated, your risk of severe illness from COVID-19 is very low.
If you're fully vaccinated. Now, y'all getting this? These are the moments. These are the garbage moments of Joe Biden. So now, it's extremely low, but there's a but coming. A big but.
Recent data indicates there's only one confirmed positive case per 5,000 fully vaccinated Americans per day.
Cool. So get off the unvaccinated's back. There you go. If you went out and got your shot, mind your business. Okay. If you provided the shot and these people chose to get the shot, then it should stop right there. You shouldn't be up here going any further. Let your statement stand. But this puts him in the category of the worst POTUS ever, when he just violated all of our constitutional rights by demanding what?
The vast majority of you who've gotten vaccinated, I understand your anger at those who haven't gotten vaccinated.
I don't. When Joe just said there's a low risk of you catching the disease if you've been vaccinated. Now, here's the blatant contradiction like seconds later. You just came out and said, hey, man, you get vaccinated, you good. You good, man. So you got folks running around during that time, vaccinated with mask on, and because of garbage like this, mad at other people who didn't get vaxxed and didn't wear a mask. And you went through all of that to protect yourself, but that ain't good enough, because the goal was not to just protect people from the virus. It was to force the vaccine, from the virus, but it was to force the vaccine on everybody. That's what the real goal was.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this. We've been patient,
This
but our
burned me.
patience is wearing thin. And your refusal has cost all of us. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight,
No, it's to force all Americans to get this mess. And God knows what your incentive was. Could have been maybe some of that kickback money, donations. Who knows? We don't know when you're dealing with dirtbag politicians that are manipulated by money and push stuff on the people and try to make it seem like we have to do it. I mean, it's an existential threat. Yeah, we got to move towards electric cars. We got to, because of climate change. Who knows who's the investors into electric cars? Who knows? Who knows how many CEOs and major, corporations are going, hey, look, if you can push this on your people, yeah, it will. We're gonna let you have it when it comes down to the money on you. Your next election, we got you, baby. And you might want to go ahead and start investing. See, so push it on the people and say, why should we have to sell it to them? Why should we have to convince them? We don't want to deal with a free market. No, just pretend that you have to do this because this right here is a global threat. And then when you try to make it, legal or legislate this rather, to push them towards that direction, we'll be right there waiting to catch them. Right there waiting to catch them. Same thing with this garbage. Something falls out of the sky. Everybody says, oh my God, we're about to die. Then they produce this right here. Notice a couple months prior, we're going to go through a run through of what would happen if, a pandemic hit. And then miraculously, about 6 months later, the pandemic hit. Ironic. And then all of a sudden, vaccine pops up real quick. And instead of just saying, there you go, everybody do whatever you want to do. Now you got your vaccine. Nope. What does he do? He comes out and threatens all of us. And this, I want to jump out my skin when he said this.
I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that
Where'd you get that number? Where'd you get that number, Joe? Huh? I'm sure you did some type of research to come up with this. 100 or more employees. Based on what? Pull that out my butt. That's what it's based on. Yep, it's out of the butt determination. 100 or more employees. Huh.
Over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated. From the very beginning.
Now, why? Why over 100 employees? I mean, where's the scientific reasoning for that? You didn't say, because studies show that if a workplace has more than 100 employees, A, B, C, and D. Nothing. This is how Democrats operate, but this is how corrupt people operate. Yeah, they take advantage of the people's ignorance and their power and their position. We don't owe you an explanation. We don't need to break down the reasoning behind what we're telling you to do. We're going to treat you like your parents did. Dad, why I got to go to bed? Because I said so. But it's only 7 o'clock in the afternoon. But who knows? Dad and mom might want to get busy. Maybe dad and mom having company come over. But they can't tell you that. They can't tell you the benefit of making you go to bed. It benefits them. So what they do, just say, go to bed. And you sitting there like, but the sun's still out. I said, go to bed. Why I got to go? Because I said so. Man, see? That's how he treated us. That's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to really let him have it. I'm going to really let him have it as he talks about democracy and we're bringing dignity back to the country. And
Again, the Second Amendment didn't say you can own any gun you want, as big as you want. You couldn't buy a cannon when, in fact, the Second Amendment passed.
Here's some classics. Now, remember, Trump is a dictator. Trump is Hitler and Mussolini. But Trump said, keep your guns. So here's some clips of Joe trying to get our guns.
What purpose is to have a gun that a bullet can travel 5 times the speed of an ordinary bullet?
Is that
true? You realize the bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot out of any other gun.
Is that true? I mean, there's a lot of, I got an AK-47. 5 times faster? Did he do the research on that, or is he just saying it? He's just saying it. See, so let's put it all together, guys. Because, see, these are the best of the worst of Joe Biden. It's not just his gaffes. It's him being a jackass. So now you got this man trying to force a vaccine on all of us. Then you also got him trying to get rid of guns. Now, these are all recipes of moving towards a banana republic or dictatorship. I'm sitting there going, okay, wait a minute. This is the reason why I don't want to give up my guns. When you come out even talking about this, even though you don't know what you're talking about, but it really makes my eyebrows go up. Both of them. Yeah. When I hear you up there saying, now we've been patient, but our patience is running thin. And then come out talking about guns. Yeah, we need to get those.
My legislation says there can be no more than 8 bullets in a round.
8 bullets in a round, y'all. Woo! That man know what he's talking about. 8 bullets in a round. A round is just one. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm confused, creepy. So you can put 8 bullets in one round. What kind of gun is this? Where do I get one of those? Somebody lead me to the bootleg market, the underground gun market that sells those bullets that have 8 bullets in one round. Unreal. But this guy wants to make choices about your Second Amendment.
Okay. Who in God's name needs a weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber?
100 rounds in the chamber. Oh, what's precious about this is he has no idea what he's talking about. But he also has no idea that he doesn't have any idea what he's talking about. He got the 2-for-1 deal. I don't know nothing about guns, but I don't even know I know nothing about guns. So that man just said, how many in a chamber? Hold on. Let's see.
Around, okay? Who in God's name needs a weapon with 100 rounds in a chamber?
There you go. You're right. Nobody needs that because it would blow up. Go ahead and try to stuff 100 rounds in a chamber and see what happens when you pull the trigger. But there he goes. Who in God's name? I would be like, on this one, I agree with you, Joe, because it's physically impossible. So you got one right by accident, and you have no idea.
Made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces.
Oh, this is a classic.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a...
Put a pistol on a brace. Not put the brace on the pistol, man. Put a pistol on a brace. So let me get this straight. All right, the brace, is it the brace that's dangerous? Or is it the pistol? So me having the brace, I guess that's dangerous. But it gets worse when I put a pistol on that brace.
Gun. Makes
So wait. Okay. So I got the brace. I put the pistol on the brace to make the pistol become a gun. Now, physics means nothing to Joe. All of this. So I got the brace. I put the pistol on the brace, and suddenly that pistol becomes a gun. What happens?
Tomorrow you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out.
And then combined the pistol with the brace, which makes the pistol become a gun, all of a sudden makes whatever caliber you're using in that gun become a more high powerful caliber. So if I got a 22 round in that gun, it now becomes an AR 15 round or something like that, and 5.56 or something. Who knows? I don't even know what's coming out of the gun at that point, because hey, it magically starts to convert whatever round is in there to a more high caliber round. And what else, Joe?
That gun. It's essentially turning into a short barrel rifle.
And then finally, to top it off, to put that cherry on top of that word salad ignorant speech right there, then it becomes pretty much a high-powered rifle. That guy wants to control your Second Amendment rights. He's pushing for gun legislation after we just saw him in 3 clips just hack up any knowledge, any reality about guns, and he comes out and he wants us to, you know what? You can't have 1,000 rounds in a chamber. All that stuff. I don't trust him with nothing. Nothing.
I'm a Second Amendment guy.
I'm a Second Amendment guy. So just in case we're concerned about him coming after our Second Amendment, he wants us to know he's a Second Amendment guy. Okay? All right? There you go. He was almost speaking in tongues for a minute. A Second Amendment guy. Okay, so here we go.
Guns have shotguns. Those who say the blood of patriots, and all this stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government.
Okay.
Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that
misquote.
Never been. If you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government,
what are you saying?
You need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons.
What?
And for those,
Wait a minute. Another red flag just popped up. So first, let's go back through the best of the worst of Joe Biden. First things first, he wants to force a vaccine on the public. All right? Because his patience is running thin. Then he comes out and starts talking about getting rid of certain types of guns that could be, the best use just in case the government decided to act a fool. And then he comes right back out there and makes a threat. This man is trying to make us think that, hey, look, there's no reason for you guys to keep your guns. It would all be in vain. Because if we decided to put the smackdown on y'all, we coming in full force, unleashing the military on citizens, F-15s and nuclear weapons. I bet you the people in his cabinet was going, oh my God, did he just say that? That only encourages me, man, to keep my guns. That's what it does. But nonetheless, Joe Biden is trying to say that, yeah, it would all be in vain. So how about y'all just say, well, let's give up all our guns, then it'll be in vain, because Joe Biden would be willing to send the military in with jets and nuclear weapons on us, which in reality, that wouldn't happen, okay? But nonetheless, let's continue hearing him lie and make threats to the public.
It's brave right-wing Americans who say it's only
right-wing. It's only right.
Keeping America's independent and safe. If you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale we use.
You need it. I am thinking about the rationale you're using. First of all, if you're describing something that I think you're describing, because see, Democrats probably do think like that. They probably would be willing, to unleash F-15s on the public, because it's all about power for them. They would be willing to sacrifice a horse, especially if it's a state filled with MAGA folks. If it's one of those right-wing extremist states where there's a lot of white nationalists and xenophobes, homophobes, yeah, we deserve to blow them off the map. But secondly, he's not even taking into account that, well, wait a minute. We got infrastructure here. I mean, We got the military that would have to agree to start firing nuclear weapons and F-15s on their own citizens, which that would be a divide. That would be a divide. It would probably be some type of war on the ground, conventional war. But Joe Biden, he wants us to think we're willing to blow all of you off the map. There you go. So therefore, when I say I want your guns, give them up, lest that scenario takes place. But then, on the flip side of that, we just heard Joe Biden say Trump was a part of an insurrection. They almost overthrew our government. They almost overthrew our government with no guns. With no guns. Ran up in there with MAGA hats, cell phones, but almost overthrew the whole government. Our whole democracy was at risk. But if you keep your AR-15s, yeah, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need... Now, do you see the contradictions? Do you see the lies, the manipulation, the stupidity that comes out of Democrats and particularly Joe? They are using the worst human in the world to try to communicate all of this to. If you're trying to lower the suspicions of American citizens that y'all are taking us into tyranny, that guy is the worst guy you can use. Everything that's coming out of his mouth, I'm going, it makes me want to hunker down. He wants us to be forced to take vaccines, taking our guns, and threatening us with F-15s and nuclear weapons.
F-15s and nuclear weapons.
I took it to instill public confidence in the vaccine.
Oh, here's another.
President-elect Harris took it.
Here's
took
another
hers today
classic.
for the
Look
same
at this
reason.
monsnotch.
President Harris and I
Who?
took a virtual tour of a vaccination center in Arizona. Last week, President Harris and I stood in the United States Capitol.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked President Harris to travel to the region last August. But all kidding aside, of course, President Harris...
So now there's two scenarios here, guys. Either this man doesn't... What's three, actually? One could be he doesn't realize that he is saying President Harris. Two, he's just too lazy to say vice. There it is. It's too late. It's too much. Why say Vice President Harris? That's one extra word Joey don't want to say. Or three, he doesn't know he's the president. You know, it could be that. He might, in his mind, he's like, well, she's the president pretty much, because when we have our meetings, I sit in the chair and swing around circles. So, yeah, there he is. Why say vice when you can just say President Harris? What an idiot. You don't even know you're the president.
As a proud Howard alum, I'm not being facetious.
Well, President
Harris led this effort.
President Harris.
Look at her.
You all are not the happiest people in the world.
Okay, wait, here we go.
What's your report? And I mean it sincerely.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's some classics, some throwbacks of Joe getting mad at the media who be mistreating him, y'all. They don't treat Joe fairly, y'all. Yeah. Unlike Trump. Yeah, I mean, all the great reporting on Trump.
You turn on the television, the only way you're going to get a hit is if there's something negative. You don't understand that in your own business. That is an interesting reading in English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write. Read the polls, Jack. You guys are all the same.
Read the polls, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more. You hear that, man? That man is mad as a firecracker. He's hot, man. Read the polls, Jack. I'll take you behind some bleachers and punch you in the face. You know what? You're a dog-faced pony soldier.
Well, that's not true. You're saying things you do not know what you're talking about. No one said
You
that. Who
bimbo?
said that?
Yeah, I know. All of the stuff that they claim. I know he's in his mind. You bimbo? Hey, Toots, you better write something good about me. These broads don't know what to... Oh, wait. I can't talk like that anymore because we're supposed to be hypersensitive and saying that everybody else... Yeah, see, I'm sure Joe's real nature be wanting to come out in moments like these. Just like he every once in a while slips out and calls a black man a boy. That boy right there. Wait, wait a minute. Yeah. So there he is, guys. He's furious with this lady. I thought he respected women.
Look, don't say that.
What do you do all that? I knew you'd have a lousy question. No, I didn't say that. Look what I said. Go back and read what I said.
We do all the time.
I'll report it the right way.
Report it the right way. Here's another one.
More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
There you go. Now that right there is bringing dignity back to the White House, y'all. All of that. No, now look at this one. Y'all remember this? Oh, the best of the worst of Joe Biden. So wait, what is this? Joe Biden, you enter the Roosevelt room and say hello to participants. Wait a minute. That's very odd. He has a cheat sheet telling him what to do. You take your seat. This right here is the best. I would love to see them explain this one. So let me understand. The president, you, capital letters. All right. That means, Joe, we got to make sure you know who you are. Okay. We can't even take the chance of a little you. All right. The you we talking about is you, not somebody else. Okay. So it's me. No, Joe, it's you. Exactly. You is me. No, I'm not you. You're you. Okay. Well, how can your be you if I'm you or if I'm me? You know what? Okay, Joe. All right. This word right here, when you see it in all big words, all right, that means you. Well, it can't mean you because I'm me. That's how I would feel if I was sitting there with him. So it says you enter, step by step, you enter the Roosevelt room and say hello to participants. Okay. You take, and then in caps, your seat. Take your seat. You give brief comments, only for 2 minutes. Let's continue. There's some more directions. Classic. This is our president, y'all. This is our president. Oh, well, what's this? What's this? Oh, you ask if something president, whatever. But then at the end, the best part, okay? You thank participants, and then the final direction is you depart. Because if you don't tell Joe to depart, you know what's going to happen, y'all. Oh, yeah, man. Joe's going to be sitting out there like, wait a minute. Where do I go? Send that Easter bunny out there. Somebody, because if you don't tell him to depart, he's going to sit there all night. There it is. I'm waiting for somebody to come get me. They didn't tell me what to do. Unbelievable. But yet, he's supposed to be in his left lane. Oh, speaking of that Easter bunny. Get your butt over here, Joe. What? Easter bunny. What? Where am I going? This is great, man. All of these clips will go down in history, in the archives, man. This dude, the Easter bunny, he looked like he was shocked to see this. He said, what? And then the Easter bunny just guided him on off. Oh, boy, here we go. Here's some more classics.
The chance, our senator.
His name hacking time.
Hawkinclaw sauce.
Hawkinclaw sauce. Jake Hawkinclaw sauce. Hawkindash sauce. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. You.
Natalie Bergon. Natalie, where's Nat?
Natalie Bergon.
Nanette. Where's Nanette?
Nanette.
There you are. Sorry, Nanette. I didn't see you back there. Leaders in civil rights like Karen Nagasaki.
Nagasaki.
And Earl, excuse me.
What?
I know. I also want to acknowledge the gentle lady from Georgia.
Where?
Lucy Macbeth.
Lucy Macbeth, y'all. Man, I tell you, the names are on the teleprompter. He probably just glances like, you know what? I saw a play once called Macbeth. I'm just going with that one. Lucy Macbeth.
The contribution of Joan Shigakawa.
Shigakawa.
I have trouble pronouncing it. You can call me Bidden.
Now, guys, he should have stopped there. She helped him out, Shigakawa. Okay, but he's going to run it back and go for it all on his own. He took the training wheels off. He said, I want to ride this bike by myself. I don't need them training wheels no more, mama. So here you go. And watch him take a fall.
And Joan Shingang. Shanga.
The brain.
I think I pronounced it correctly. I want to thank all of you.
There you go. Joe Biden, baby. The best at being the worst.
Here, including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie?
No, not the Jackie that died.
She was going to be here.
She must not be here. Joe, you should know she's not there. You and Jill sent out a message saying we're sorry to hear about Jackie. She was killed. But Joe done forgot Jackie done went on to glory. And look what the press has to come out and say. Watch Black Gay Drop come out.
Help make this a reality.
So, of course, she was on his mind. She was on top of mind. She was on top of mind.
On top of mind.
Many people can speak to sometimes when you have someone top of mind. They're top of mind, exactly that. And she was a top of mind.
She was
on top of mind. I don't think it's all that unusual to have someone top of mind.
Top of mind.
Top of mind.
Top of mind. Top of mind. Top of mind. Yeah. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win. That chick talking about some top of mind. What is top of mind anyway? Yeah, I see something that's on top of your mind. It's that big mop. That's what I see on top of your mind. And on Joe's mind, I see nothing. It's completely empty. When I look at his mind, it's like maybe some tumbleweed rolling around up in there. And you got the nerve to say it's top of mind. I've never heard anybody use that expression, top of mind. It's on top of mind. It's on top of mind. She's on top of mind.
And she was on top of mind. Top of mind. Again, she was on the top of mind. I feel like many of us have gone through that particular, time where someone is on top of mind and you call them out.
No, I'm not buying it. The top of mind line is not flying with me. I don't want to hear the top of mind line. So it's on top of mind. Top of mind. Top of mind. I said top of mind, man. Okay, how many times I got to tell you it's on top of mind? Unreal.
The confusing part is why, if she and the family is top of mind, does the president think that she's living and in the room?
I don't find that confusing.
You
okay, go ahead.
The press wouldn't give up on it. Well, if she's on top of mind, how would he think she was living and in the room? I don't understand. Even if you do, for 1 second, think about a person who you obviously know is dead, you'll catch it. It should hit you after a couple seconds. Like, where's Jamie? Oh, wait. Oh, man. Just thinking about Jamie or whoever the person is should make you realize, wait, they're dead. But not Joe. He kept going. Where is she? Is she here? Well, I'm still looking for her. Where's Jackie? Jackie, is that you? That man had no idea that Jackie was dead. That's what it is. And here she got to come out and look dumb in that big Pink Panther outfit talking about some top of mind. Top of mind.
These moments of confusion are happening.
Look, she getting jumped. She getting jumped.
Americans are watching this and are having
Get off me.
This is a legitimate question. We need
They putting something on top of that mind. They are dropping nothing but these on top of that mind. Because you got the nerve to get out there and lie to them. I thought that was on top of mind. Top of mind, man.
to have some answers.
I didn't think she was going to be here.
She must not be here. Oh, boy, I didn't think it was going to be this much material. So we're going to have part 2 of the best of the worst of Joe Biden. So, as we can see here, as the new year starts and the old one is over, we have plenty of footage to reminisce on. See, sometimes we got to go through what got us here. We want to make sure that these things are archived for those coming behind us. One day when we're all dead and gone, we want the people in the future to be able to see the best of the worst of Joe Biden. We want them to understand how in the world we got to wherever they are in the future. I want them to be going, I cannot believe back there from 2020 to 2023, America had this guy running the country and pretending that he was okay. So I'm here to point it all out. Yeah, we're going to get it out the way so we can go ahead and clear the slate and move into 2024. And then, of course, at the end of 2024, we'll be able to reminisce on all the things and stupid things he said and did in 2024 leading up to him getting his butt beat. That's if he even makes it to the finals. Because I'm questioning. His decline right now is so rapid. I do not think this man is going to make it to 2024's election. I really do. And even if he does, he's in such bad shape that I think even if he can still physically do it, I think that they will still somehow try to swap him out. That's the best they can do. It's the best they can do at this point, man, because he's blew out. He is blew out. But hey, it's okay because it provides a plethora of laughter for me. A plethora of laughter for me during a time where if you don't laugh at this, you probably cry. So God bless y'all. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight. We're going to go ahead and finish the rest of this tomorrow. We got about a good 11 minutes more of Joe Biden stinking it up, but we're not going to go ahead and push it past that. We'll pick up from where we are now, okay? Now, don't forget to hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're still subscribed. Let me know if YouTube is playing games with you when it comes down to, being subscribed and all of that stuff. And then somebody said I could have gone on to 9. Oh, see, y'all, y'all make me, y'all be, don't you encourage me. Don't you encourage me, man. See, y'all be messing around. I'll be like, all right, let's do it. But I'm going to let it go. Let's see. We're already at an hour and a half. I think I'll let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm tempted, but I'm going to let it go. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Somebody said, love you lots, Kev. Thank you. Love you too. So thanks for all of those that been, participating in the super chat, sharing my videos, following me. I have uploads that are standalone, some new stuff that I'm uploading, but I don't expect YouTube to help me out with that. So you guys have to check the channel. And if you want to support my channel through my fundraiser, the link is right below this video. Or you can also support me by going to the merch store and checking out some of that stuff. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, follow me on all those other places. And then we will be back here tomorrow. And I don't want to lose my place, so I'm not going to play my theme song because I want us to start right here tomorrow. So, of course, we will have to play the theme song tomorrow, and I'll slice it up real good for y'all. I might even give y'all the extended version of the theme song just because. So, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless. Take care.